Hello and welcome back to talkSPORT USA. My name is Tom Scholes. Across the way from me, I've said it to him many, many times. I'm never going to stop saying it to him. Award-nominated Brian T. Smith. He's sick to death of it, and it isn't going to stop until after the awards are done. But what we've done so far is when we're recording this, we've just finished our chat about the Boston Red Sox. If you click in the top corner, you'll be able to watch that, comment on it, share it, do all the good stuff with it. Remember to like and subscribe to the talkSPORT USA channel. Check out Brian and his colleagues. Well, my colleagues as well. They're not complete strangers.
Post that you like Tom's Oasis jacket that he got. Did you get that on the tour last year?
I did get on that on tour.
That's
last
pretty cool.
Year. I went to New York to watch him.
I heard about
that. The place from hell. Check out talksport.com. There won't be any Oasis chat. As you know, there will be Oasis chat.
New York is not the place from hell, but you're saying East Rutherford, the stadium, the Meadowlands. Are you saying like the Met?
Out of the Meadowlands?
Yeah. Horrific. Ask Super Bowl fans from that Patriots Seahawks blowout, whatever, 7 years ago. That is my least favorite stadium in the world. And that stadium will host, correct me if I'm wrong,
the World Cup final.
Yes. I'm telling you right now, 3.5 months ahead of time, there's going to be a lot of controversy about that stadium and getting in and getting out for the freaking World Cup final. Once you have the president, you have the whole, Gianni's going to be the whole world, David Beckham, I'm sure. That's going to be an absolute bleep show if they do not do it correctly.
There's going to be a lot of people, 2 people on this recording that are going to say to a lot of people, we told you so. But keeping on the theme of the FIFA World Cup, obviously Gianni Infantino, official friend of talkSPORT, by the way. We spoke to him in New Orleans on the red carpet during Super Bowl week. One of the things that's going to be a major feature over at the World Cup is VAR and assisted referees, or kind of any kind of technology that aids referees. And in Major League Baseball this year, the new introduction of the ball and strike system has come in. Now,
is that what you call it in England? And in my world, as an expat living in London, I call it the robot umps. The ball and strike system, that is the robot umps. The robots have taken over the grand old game. And I'm here to tell you, I absolutely love it.
I cannot agree with you more.
I'm into the robots.
The reason I don't call it robot umps is because the umpires are still human behind the plate. There isn't a robot check swinging someone.
You have, what is it, Cletus? Isn't Cletus like the Fox robot? I mean,
the one that you took a picture of me with,
like the big robot that's all over. I think it's Cletus.
I think that's it.
You'd almost like as a kid, you would think that Cletus, this big transformer, Optimus Prime would be behind, or Megatron. I guess it'd have to be Megatron would be behind.
Yeah, we'll go.
Did they do the Transformers in London? I don't know.
I'm aware of Transformers.
You are aware of the Transformers.
I'm just not a Transformers guy, but I know who Optimus Prime is.
So that would be like Megatron, basically, without his rifle thing. He'd be sitting behind home plate, calling balls and strikes. Like, that's almost how I see it anymore. But yes, factually, you're correct, Tom. There is still a breathing, living human being wearing a padded vest and a mask, kind of doing the balls and strikes.
And there's still someone to boo at. There's still someone to the managers to come out and shout.
Who's got to call it at home plate and foul, foul tips and everything. Yeah. Oopsie. live streaming radio. There we go.
There we go. This is the kind of stuff you don't get on the main channel because they're clean and polished. And me and Brian, we just go with the flow. We've obviously spoken about it just then. I love the fact that there is that mix of roboticness and factually correct, this is a strike, this is a ball, and there's still that human element of it. I think that's the difference between this and VAR, where VAR has tried to perfect an imperfect game, whereas baseball is very aware that it's a very free-flowing game, that you can have your instant replays to check who's on first base and if someone's out and whatnot. That can still be a subjective call with the aid of video. This is one of the only things in the sport that is definitive. Either something is a
that's a great point. That's a really good point. I like that, yeah.
And the ability to kind of go, no, I'm challenging this because there is a definitive way to describe it. It isn't just an umpire kind of going, oh, well, this guy's 6'7", so his strike zone's different. This is a very definitive way of putting it. I think that's a complete breath of fresh air. I think it's changed the baseball world for good.
I'm getting all fired up, Tom, and I've got a meeting in a bit, but I might have to run a little late for the meeting. So I'm going to let the people can watch this later to know that that's why I'm a little late for the meeting. Okay, because we were going to do this in about 10 minutes, but I'm getting all fired up because this is baseball. I love talking baseball more than anything else in the sports world. All right, there's a few things I want to say. Number one, I want to get into VAR in a second because living in London the last 3 years and getting so into the EFL and the pyramid and watching all this unfold from my American sports perspective, having grown up on instant replay. Like in America, we don't fight instant replay. Let's just say that we accept the modern age. I know, like, the English in general can be a little antiquated with some things, and I love that. I love that. In general, speaking very general, because it's easy to poke fun in America right now. But I love that it takes a while to embrace things here, and it might take 50 or 100 years. But the craziest thing for me with watching baseball, being at a baseball game, covering it, covering 1,000 games live, was like, you would turn on the TV, you would be at a bar, you'd be at a friend's house, wherever, because there's always baseball on, just like there's always Premier League on here. And you just look at a game for 2 seconds, and you're seeing the batter and the pitcher, and this scene that we've seen a billion times. But what happened to baseball, I don't remember exactly, let's say like 10 years ago, was all of a sudden this box appeared. This magic box appeared, and the box was 99.9% perfect. And it got so advanced that you could even see the ball trailing in. So I'm not the world's biggest cricket fan.
Right.
But cricket and baseball are somewhat comparable. And it'd be like everything that happens in cricket that the fans are super into, but for the 21st century AI age, that was happening 10 years ago on American TV. So there's nothing worse than you're watching a game and you just look up for a second and it's called a ball by the umpire, but the box on the screen pre-robot umps would show you that it was a strike or it was a ball or it was right on the plate or whatever. So how could the human eye and millions watching it see that it was a ball or a strike, but the ump would miss it? So I always thought it was crazy that TV was that advanced, that everyone could see it, but the umpires continually would get those calls wrong. So I am all for the robot umps. I mean, the whole idea of replay is that you get it right. The issue becomes when you're watching it, when you're at a match, does it completely change how you're watching that match? Does it slow it down? And that has been by far my biggest problem with VAR. Getting into Premier League, getting into Champions League, getting into the EFL, going to, I don't know, I've been to like 100 matches since I moved over here, and like that's awesome. I was at Chelsea Man City this last weekend. I will say, so Chelsea at one point went up like 1-0, and of course it wasn't going to last. They're going to lose 3-0. But Chelsea went up 1-0, and for the first time, I saw with my own eyes in person a quick VAR review. It literally was like, bam, they flashed it on the screen, play was under review. They made the call in about 20 seconds, and it was super efficient, and you moved on. What has blown my mind over here is how slow, though, outside of that, VAR is, to the point that it can take 5 minutes to review a call, and it's so bad, and this doesn't translate when you're watching a Premier League match in the U.S., because when you're in the stadium or you're watching on TV here, like when you're in the stadium, you don't see anything. There are no replays on the screen. You're not getting, this super zoomed in look 20 times over and over and over, and all the fans like, oh, it was good, it was bad, and on and on. In America, if you're in an NFL stadium, if you're at a baseball park, you're seeing those zoomed in replays. So that, I think, is the biggest difference between VAR and Major League Baseball system. I still think there's a huge irony, though, that what we've seen in the early days, as you call it over here, of the robot umps in Major League Baseball is there's some really bad umps out there. And all the fans have known it for years, but this confirms everything.
Didn't need a robot umpire to tell me that some of them guys
that
need
C.B.
glasses.
Buckner might not be long for the game.
No, I think that's... I'll get into my wider point that you kind of mentioned about VAR there. The one human element of it is that it is almost a humiliation ritual for some of these guys.
You're getting shown up in public by a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, of course the robot is smarter than you. Like, the robot, it is locked into the system that if it goes this much off, it is a ball or a strike. The human eye... Baseballs are coming in at 95 miles an hour, or they're starting up here in the zone and doing this and ending up down here, and it all happens in like 2 seconds, man.
You got
it's humanly impossible.
To go, that's a ball. It's 100 miles an hour. How can you figure this out? The two things I want to raise on, because I am conscious of time and I don't want to drag you too long there, Brian, is on one hand, the difference between this and VAR, and you kind of touched upon it there. The reason the Chelsea goal that was ruled out from Cucurella at the weekend was so quick because it was offside.
Yep.
It was definitive.
Yep.
That's why this works so well in Major League Baseball, is because I'll use an example from the Tottenham-Sunderland game. Tottenham were awarded a penalty. The referee he gave the penalty. He then went to VAR, checked it, and was ruled out. I'm not going to get into whether it was a penalty or not. It wasn't a penalty. But it wasn't one at all. I'll take it, but it wasn't. Now, the reason that took longer is because you then got to figure out, but he won the ball first. Yeah. It's subjective. What is a penalty for me might not be a penalty for someone else. With a goal, with goal line technology, with VAR and offsides, and with balls and strikes in Major League Baseball,
it should be instantaneous.
It's as the saying goes. I think Jason Cundy, our very own Jason Cundy, said this: you're either pregnant or you're not. You're either offside or you're not. It's either a ball or a strike. It's in the zone or it's not. So I think that's why it works, because it's the instantaneous. Oh yeah, we can see because the magic box is there. It's clipped the T-Mobile sponsored box.
Yep.
Of course, it's sponsored because it's American sports. How could it not be sponsored?
Yep.
It's clipped the box. You know it's a strike. You can argue whether it's that shouldn't be a strike. Well, it is. It's clipped the box. It's a strike.
It's either a strike or not.
It's a goal. It's either over the line or it's not over the line. It's offside or it's offside. It's not offside. It's either a ball or a strike. There's no arguing either way. Not the flip side, rather. The second point I want to make is I've given this guy a whole ton of stick in my fandom. Specifically, again, we've mentioned them again, how he treated the 2017 Houston Astros situation. Again, hands were probably tied in a lot of that, but from a fan point of view, it wasn't treated the best way. I think Rob Manfred's done it again, baby. He's done something again that has made fans open their eyes a little bit more to baseball and go, actually, that's a little bit more enjoyable than what I'm seeing in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's made the game shorter, which if you're a match-going fan, it might be a little bit different. But the majority of the people are watching on television.
I think this is a huge, it's a huge simple win. And I wrote about this in Houston. I don't remember I'd have to Google it, but I want to say it was like maybe pre-Corona, maybe like 2019 or something like that, or 2022 if it's after Corona. But they started this actually at lower level baseball that was not in the true minor league. So there's a team there, and at the time they're called the Sugarland Skeeters. And I went out and covered this, and it was like nobody cared, but I did because I knew how big it would eventually be for baseball if it was accepted. And they trialed it there, and it was literally like connecting the wires to see if this would work. So kudos to Major League Baseball, because they trialed this, and baseball, for all the issues of baseball, they lean on their minor league system when they do it right. They understand the history that, hey, if you're going to make this massive change to the grand old game, like, you better get it right, or you're going to hear about it, or you're going to start ruining some history and the present day. So they trialed this, and they did it at lower levels, and they figured it out, and they got all the kinks out, and it's still not perfect, but it shouldn't be that hard. And for me, in 2026, when you literally have robots taking over the world, and in 5 years, we're all going to be holograms and give everything we own to AI, and they'll just take care of everything. Why not get it right? But if you're going to say why not get it right, it needs to be fast, it needs to be accurate, it needs to be quick, because we have all of the tools now. And I don't get to say this that much anymore, but a tip of the cap to Major League Baseball, because they embraced this. They were ahead of the curve with this. They didn't go into it half-bleeped. Like, they've actually said, hey, we're going to do this. There's going to be some backlash. You're going to have like the old blogger or the old columnist saying like, oh my gosh, baseball's changed. Embrace the future with this, because it makes it a smoother game, a more efficient game, a better called game. The umpires can still be on the field. And now we actually have results. I have not seen C.B. Buckner's name ever like I have seen for the first month of the Major League Baseball season. You can also see the teams that are challenging better. I love everything about this in this modern age. And as much as I'm on the fence with VAR, because it just should be run better, NFL still has a long way to go with its, because the struggles of figuring out what's a catch and what's not, and the fact that sometimes it feels like we'll watch a catch replayed 80 times in the NFL. But I do think it's funny, really quick, and I just have to get out some the blowback from fans here to just abolish VAR and not have any instant replay. I don't know how you feel about this, but I just think it's funny. I just like, do you not want to get the call right? Now, we could talk about every little thing, but for me, so you said before, like you're either all in or you're not. It's either a strike or not, a goal or not. What happens when you start getting goals constantly wrong? You get handballs wrong. You get penalties wrong. For me, you keep VAR, You just do it a lot better, and there's no reason it can't be done better and more efficient. I know they're trying to do that, but this whole idea that we should have no instant replay, like this isn't 1950 anymore.
Some instant replays good, some instant replays not so good. When it's subjective calls and it's open to interpretation, you're never going to win. We've seen that in the NFL.
That's a fair point.
What's a catch? What's pass interference? How much of his jersey did he hold? We said it last night. At the time of recording, last night, Lisandro Martinez was sent off for grabbing Dominic Calvert-Lewin's man bun. There's a whole topic of conversation about that. About, well, he didn't grab it long enough. He didn't grab it. Football is a sport that you're never ever going to win a debate because there's always going to be another
There's
answer.
so much gray area in English or international football. There's so much gray area, man. Like, what's a penalty? What's not? You don't have that in Major League Baseball.
That's why this works so well. That's why this is the best instant replay system in sport, because it's now become a skill.
A run is a run. A single is a single. A double is a double. A home run's a home run. A strike is a strike. A ball is a ball. That is it. Get it right and move on.
It's now become a skill to understand your strike zone and to be able to stand there and go tap your head, and that's it. So we're going to go out. We are pressed for time on this one. I don't want to keep Brian too long. He's an SJA nominated award nomination.
Let's add that.
Thank you again for watching. We've discussed the Major League Baseball strike and ball system. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's the best thing that's happened to this league in a long time. It's the best instant replay in all of sports. I'm sure Brian, he has his love for robot umps now that I'm very aware of, and his more than kind words for VAR, which I wasn't aware of.
Keep VAR, but make it better. VAR has to be more efficient, and it just wastes too much time. It enrages me.
Make VAR great at all. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out talkSPORT.com.
BT Smith UK on Twitter, talkSPORT USA, the whole deal.
You don't want my Twitter handle. You don't want my Instagram handle.
I was planning on talking about, I was listening to a Pink Floyd bootleg. I was like, somehow going to work that in, and I didn't get to, so next time.
Next time, I will tell you about when I went to go watch Roger Waters Before the Wall at Wembley Stadium, and someone had a go at somebody else for standing up and singing.
That sounds like a very English thing.
Oh, it was insanely English, Brian. Thank you for watching. Remember to check out the channel. Check out talksport.com. Thank you for watching again. We'll see you next time.